What's up, fellow virgins, fellow tarnished? Today I'm going to find out how early you can access the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC in Elden Ring. Now, I should preface this by saying this is going to be less of a tutorial and more of a science experiment. There's going to be a whole lot of trial and error, but hopefully you still learn something, or at the very least, this is interesting. Alright, let's jump into this. Oh, fuck. So the first thing I did was make my character. This is Boingus. I chose a samurai starting class because it's the best one. Why? Bleed. Now to actually get to the DLC, we only need to complete two simple tasks. Beat Star Scourge Radahn and Lord Morg, Lord of... What the fuck is happening to me? Mohg, Lord of Blood. I have a strategy for Radahn, but for Mohg, we're just gonna wing it. So to fight Radahn, we need his castle in festival mode, and the simplest way to do that is by resting at any site of grace in the Altus Plateau. To get there early, we need two medallions. We need one from Fort Height, and we need one from Fort Ferrith. Then with those, we can use the Grand Lift of Dectus. So after resting in the Altus Plateau, we can now go fight Radahn. He is going to be pretty tough because I'm a low level, but fortunately you can summon like 8 people for this fight. So the early game Radahn strat is just running around like a lunatic trying not to get hit by magic because any of his magic will one-shot me. And it does, several times. Now, I probably could have beaten him if I just played slightly more carefully, but I don't have time for that. So I went and killed the big dragon near Fort Ferrith, the one that gives you a crap ton of runes. But this fight gets way easier if you, 1, have a little bit of extra health, and 2, hit him every once in a while so you can draw some aggro from the summons, because I found they were dying very often towards the end, so they were like barely getting any damage in. So after killing the big dragon and leveling health, I decided to go do Yura's questline, mainly because you need to do it anyway before fighting Mohg, because you need the Purifying Crystal tier to stop Mohg's bullshit blood attack. But also, I needed a small break from Radahn because you are seeing a montage of this. Every time I died, it was like a 10-minute fight to get him back down to almost dead, and then I would just die before I could do it. And I found fighting Eleonora to be way easier because I did it first try. Anyway, after all that and a couple more attempts, we had beaten Radahn. In case that was hard to follow, to recap my strategy, have about 30 health, continuously summon everyone in the arena, and then just take a couple swipes of Radahn while staying on the move. All in all, not too bad. Unfortunately, that was the easy part, because now we have to deal with Mohg. But first we have to get there, which I did by following my super awesome tutorial. Except this time I didn't feel like fighting Magnus, because I thought that would be way harder, so I decided to just invade people 3 times, and I got bodied. These guys will be no match for me. Whoa! Oh shit! Oh shit! I didn't realize there was 3 of you fuckers. Oh no! I just got so jumped. Holy shit. So once I got to Mohgun's palace, the first thing I did was get to this grinding spot because I needed a better weapon than my starting katana. And since I had already beaten Eleonora, I decided to use her twin blade for a couple of different reasons. 1, it gets upgraded through somber smithing stones, so each tier is way less expensive. And 2, it does a lot of bleed damage and can proc often, which Mohg, Lord of Blood, is very weak to. Which is kind of ironic considering his name, but I ain't complaining. So after getting the Twin Blade of +4, which I did by finding E.G., the blacksmith in Lunari the Lakes, he sells the first 4 somber smithing stone upgrades. But with that, I'm ready to fight Mohg. Let's do this.
Is mine and mine alone.
Okay, I'm gonna need some more upgrades. So I got the Mimic Tier Ash, arguably the strongest summon in the entire game, because all I need to do to get it is go to Nokron the Eternal City, which we unlocked by beating Radahn. I did need to fight the Mimic Tier boss, but he's pretty easy if you just completely strip all your equipment and then he has nothing to fight you with. So little tip if you're struggling with that fight, I guess. Anyway, now that we have the Mimic Tier, let's try the fight again. And I don't have the Spirit Calling Bell. Ronnie never gave it to me. Fuck.
Is mine.
No worries though, you can buy it from the Twin Maiden Husks, the Round Table, and we're good to go.
Is mine and mine alone.
Alright, so here's that trial and error I was talking about earlier. Is it possible to beat Mohg with this setup? Yeah, people beat this game with their fucking toes. Of course it's possible. But is it possible for someone of my skill level? No, it's not. Now, I was going to go super in-depth about how I did everything, but I don't want this video to be an hour long, so I'm going to summarize. After a lot of attempts on this boss, I realized I needed a plus 10 weapon and a plus 10 mimic tier, which luckily was very doable. Turns out if you complete just a little bit of Ronnie's questline, you get access to all the areas that have these upgrades. So I ventured out to Ronnie's, and I said, "What's up, girl?" And she said, "Gross." So I said, "I'm a cry now." And she felt bad for me and said, "Go get the finger slayer blade for me." Anyway, what she's looking for is in Nokron, which we unlocked earlier. But where you get the blade is also where you get a Great Ghost Glowvort, which is needed to upgrade the Mimic tier. Once you bring the blade back to Ronnie, it unlocks Rena's Rise, which allows you to get to Noxtella, the Eternal City, I think. Which is where we get most of our upgrade materials. Mainly Somber Smithing Stones 6 and 7. We can get 8 and Kaled, and 9 we get from somewhere. I already had it. I don't know where I got it. And the Somber Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone is in Mogwin Palace, along with the rest of the materials to upgrade the Mimic tier. But with all of that, we now have a plus 10 weapon and a plus 10 Mimic tier, so Moog should be pretty easy now.
Is mine.
I still can't beat him. Because I don't have the right armor, of course. Fucking duh. So I went and got the Knight's armor from the Twin Maiden Husks. It's probably one of the best early game armors. It's the lightest armor that has 51 poise, at least according to the wiki. And 51 poise is the minimum you need to not get knocked around so much. But with all that and a few more attempts, I beat Moog, Lord of Blood, and can now access the DLC. Let's go, bitch. Let's go, bitch. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Suck my wiener. So, how early can you access the DLC? 2 hours? 3 hours maybe? 7. It's 7 hours. It took me 7 hours to get here. Now, I could have done this much faster. Like I said, this was a whole lot of trial and error. Things I could have done faster, I could have killed the dragon immediately instead of attempting Radahn with no upgrades. I should have just got straight to plus 10 for the Mimic tier and the weapon immediately instead of dicking around. Because I fought Moog so many times with a plus 4 or 5 weapon and a plus 3 Mimic tier. It was very dumb. I thought I was a better gamer than I am. That being said, though, if I was just playing on my own, not recording or doing a video or anything, I would be very happy with this. Because now I get access to all the DLC weapons, and I haven't fought, any of the bosses in the main game, besides Radahn and Moog, of course. Anyway, I hope any of this was useful or entertaining or good. I also wanted to say thanks so much on the support from the last video. It's crazy how many people watched that video, and I'm just glad people are enjoying it. It was a lot of fun to make. I got some more Elden Ring stuff in the works, so if that sounds interesting, maybe consider subscribing. But anyway, I got a hot date with Ronnie, so I'll see you losers later. I don't have a hot date with Ronnie. She said I was stinky. I'm also sick, so that's fucking great. I've been sick for a week and a half now. Thanks for watching. Gonna go smoke some crack now. Just kidding. You don't smoke crack. You eat it or something. I don't fucking know. All right. Video over.